Here's how this works. Water, salt, and pepper, those are freebies. Your pantry, it better have flour, oil, vinegar, mustard, and garlic. Beyond that, you'll only need 5 more ingredients and 25 minutes to put an entree or entire meal on the table. So, shop, set the clock, and let's dish out. We will need some potatoes, of course. I'm using Yukon Gold, but russets would be fine in a pinch. We'll also need some good old smoky, thick-cut bacon, some chives for flavor and garnish, about 4 cups of good quality chicken broth or stock, and a couple cans of good quality creamed corn. You could use fresh corn if it was in season, but I like the creamed corn for the extra liquid that it imparts, as well as the sweetness. We'll go ahead and slice up 4 or 5 strips of bacon into bite-sized pieces, and do the same with about 2 pounds of our potatoes. We want to cut them in pieces that are small enough to put onto a spoon to bring to your mouth, of course. Even though we're going to blend some of the soup up, there will still be some large chunks of potatoes in there at the end. We'll go ahead and add that bacon to a Dutch oven over medium heat and cook it out for 5 to 6 minutes until it has rendered most of its fat and is nice and crispy. Go ahead and drain that with a slotted spoon, set that aside, and we'll come back to it at the end. We're going to add in a big ol' handful of minced chives, as well as all of our potatoes, stir them around to that hot bacon fat, then go in with 1 to 2 cloves of minced garlic, both of your cans of creamed corn, and all 4 cups of that chicken stock. We'll also season this up with some Dijon mustard from the pantry for a little bit of tang and body, lots of fresh cracked pepper, and a pinch of salt. We'll definitely want to taste for seasoning at the end, depending on how salty your stock is. You may want to add more or less at this point. Go ahead and bring that up to a simmer, lid it up, and cook it for 15 to 16 minutes until those potatoes are nice and tender, at which point we're going to go in with an immersion blender and puree this until it reaches the consistency that we desire. If you don't have one of these tools, I highly recommend you buy one. They're very useful and not too expensive, but you could also use a regular blender, or in a pinch, just use a potato masher and go in there and mash up some of those potatoes and some of that corn until you get the texture that you're looking for. You see we still have some nice chunks of potato in the soup, but overall it is relatively creamy and has thickened up nicely. We'll return most of that bacon to the party at this point, reserving some of those nice crispy pieces for garnish, and bowl this delicious soup up. Garnish it with some of that crispy bacon and add on plenty of those freshly chopped chives. This is an absolutely perfect bowl of soup for these cold winter months. It's hearty, it's slightly sweet from the corn, it's creamy but without any cream at all from those starchy potatoes, smoky and salty from the bacon. Really hits a lot of great flavor notes with just a few really basic ingredients and only a few minutes time and effort. I definitely hope people give this a try. Thank you so much for watching. Go fill yourself up with a bowl of this soup, or at the very least, go make something delicious.